everybody. Welcome back. On this episode of Mindful Mocha Mama's She-Volving Life, we're going to be talking about present moments, the here and the now. I'm Samantha, and thank you so much for joining us. We are a community of folks that are just bringing mindfulness, meditation in your everyday life. You know, it is not something that we have to just limit to a practice once in the morning, once at night. We can live mindfully throughout the day and access that peace, that control, that sense of connecting to your higher self throughout the day. It does not have to be limited to any particular time. No equipment is needed. And so today we're going to just be talking about the present moments, which so many moments are available to us. Like if you just sit back and think about okay, how many moments are actually available to us? And then how many infinite possibilities are available for us to respond or do or just be in each moment? It's pretty astounding. It's pretty amazing. And a big part of meditation is building an awareness of the present moment. What's happening right here, right now? You know, so often our minds want to travel, into the future or take from the past, the stories that we tell ourselves about the past is we often live there, or the future worries about things that haven't even happened yet. Like our mind just loves to live there. And when your mind is constantly living in this past, present type of state, then that's where the overwhelm comes in. That's where the stress comes in. That's where the I am not fulfilled feeling comes in. That stuck feeling comes in, because the only thing we have is the now. That's the only thing that we are existing in is now. So the more that we are able to access that now, the more alive we're going to feel, the more in tune with our being we're going to feel, the more that we bring our attention and our awareness to what's happening now. Because that's where the power is. The past is gone. Future not even here yet. Who knows what that's going to look like? We can hope, there's an infinite potential for us to, be open to all kinds of just situations. That's hope. Faith steadies us, that, we will be taken care of and things will be okay in some form. But the future, it ain't here. It is not now. All we have is now. So building an awareness of the present moment and bringing your attention to the present moment as often and as frequent as you possibly can throughout your day is gonna be gold. It's gonna be life-saving, life-changing for you. If you are, a person that just feels like, I am just so overwhelmed by my life. I am so busy right now and have I feel like I barely got my head above water. Right now, today, make a decision. I am going to bring my attention to present moment. Often, frequently, as much as I possibly can. Even if it's for one breath. It will change your life. It will truly change your life. So part of bringing your attention in the present moment, an aspect of this is not just about time, the actual literal time. It's a posture of I am here, I am now, I am not relishing or living in the past, and I'm not striving. It's a posture of non-striving, which is so countercultural to us in Western societies, we're always trying to get somewhere. We're always trying to not be here. We're trying to make it to that next big thing, get the next new shiny object, get here, do this, be that, something that's away from where we are. And that's something that was, deep seated in us from a very young age. Promotion. I'm thinking about being promoted to different grades, and it's just been ingrained in us to always be looking for the next thing. And this idea of no, what's most important is where you are right now. And where you are right now, there's a wholeness there. There's a peace and an okayness about your now. Is super countercultural because we're so bound by the situations that we're in versus, accessing like that higher self and saying, you know what? Because let's be honest, for most of us, the here and now is pretty safe. It may be not where we want to be right now. We may feel like we are missing out. We may be lacking in some way, but it's pretty safe for most of us. And if it's not safe, usually you don't have to think about being present because your amygdala, which is that lower brain kind of gut instinctual lizard brain will take over. And it's like, no, we don't need you to think right now. We're going to do the fight, flight, or freeze. So when you're actually having an imminent danger, you don't have to think about being present. You're present. That's the instinctual evolutionary response to imminent danger. But now we don't really, like I said, for most of us right now sitting here, we are safe. And we don't have that those opportunities for our amygdala to switch on that present moment. We have to be intentional about that present moment because in the present moment is where you feel alive. In the present moment is where you get a break from the thinking and you are able to get some of that like life-giving inspiration, insights and all that stuff. Like your brain is not meant to be in an incessant thinking pattern because honestly, that is where we get the worry, anxiety, it's just incessant coming on. So bringing yourself to the present moment, non-striving, not trying to be away from the present moment, not trying to think of, where I need to get to next, but actually bringing your attention like, no, we're not striving. We're be here nowing. Like that is the goal, is to be here right now. And just as you are right here, right now, you're whole. There's no salvation in the future. I feel like oftentimes we think, if we could just have this, if we just be here, if we could just be like, next year, I feel like a lot of us thought that about the pandemic, right? Like, I want 2020 to be over. Good Lord, like, please let 2020 to be over. But look, 2021 is here and there's just a whole new set of things for us to be our mind to try to fix and try to worry about, and we're just languishing we have no, there's no salvation in the future. So you have to find a way to connect with your higher self, connect in meditation, in prayer, whatever you want to call it. That communion through mindfulness is what is going to help you be absolutely okay with the now. Make peace with the present. Make peace with the present. And that's not to say you don't have goals, right? You have goals. Goals you can put pen to paper, put a goal in, put a system in place, put a plan in, and then bam, 3 months down the road, you are in a different position. Like, that's how goals work. But think about the mindset. Like, how much better it would be if you were able to be present through each and every step of the journey, and then arrive at your goal and just be like, yay, I'm glad I accomplished this thing. However, it wasn't the thing. The journey was transformative. The journey, I had peace every step of the way. The journey was me living. How awesome would that be? And that's what being present in each moment, non-striving, works in conjunction with setting goals. There's not an either or. They work together for a beautiful, beautiful life, So, this is hard stuff. This is hard. This is not like cakewalk stuff. This is, oftentimes we don't want to be where we are because, our identities and our egos, they feel like they don't exist in the present moment. It's like, who am I in the present moment if I'm not always thinking about, the past and what has brought me here and what has wronged me to shape who I am today and all that stuff, and then, in the future, thinking about our goals and who we want to be and who we're striving for and what our vision is and all that stuff. Like, without those as our main things, like, when you're just in the present moment, that stuff kind of dissolves and, we don't really know who we are and we feel uneasy and we feel like, we need something to attach to. But right then, in the middle of all that uncertainty, is where you can connect with your higher self, where you can connect with God. We're hardwired. We're hardwired. We're designed to do this. This is what it means to be mindful, is to get into that no thinking space, and you will feel the freedom. And it's not just about me talking about it. Like, once you experience it, there will be no need to try to convince. I'm not here to try to convince. I'm just speaking from my own experience, And then when you experientially feel this and experience this, then there will be no you will not need to convince anybody, and no one can convince you otherwise of it either. That is the evidence. That is the proof. So, finding ways to just be in the present moment, non-striving, that is quintessential to living a mindful life and evolving, because we are so much identified with our past and present, and we always feel like we want to have some sort of better tomorrow, better days ahead. When you actually sit in the present moment and really kind of systematically disconnect and disidentify with those identities, you're stripping away what you always thought of who you were, and endless possibilities start to open up about who you are, what your life is, what you're meant to do, everything that you've ever imagined starts to become clearer, once you start to really embody the present moment. So the meditation for today is it's called Breath and Body. The breath is always available to you. It is something that, I personally, it actually took me a while to get used to doing breathing meditations. You hear a lot, breathing, cleansing breaths, so forth and so on. And, for me, it was super hard because I felt disconnected to my breath. I don't know if that makes sense. That may resonate with some of you guys out there. I felt disconnected from my breath. Like, my breath didn't bring me presence. It brought me like thoughts of like worry. Like, I'm like, oh, I can't feel my breath. like I have to make exaggerated movements to feel it go in and go out. Am I breathing? I just feel like a lump in my throat. Like for me, my breath was negatively associated with anxiety. So for a while before I really learned how to breathe and then became present with my breathing, it was actually a barrier for me to meditate and mind. So you have to find what works for you. Not everything is going to work for everybody, and that's totally okay. And something may work for a little while and then it won't serve you anymore. And that's okay too. Like you are, look, even being a meditator and being somebody that's so-called spiritually enlightened, that's a identity. You don't attach yourself to that either, you know? With whatever serves you at that moment serves you, and if it doesn't serve you anymore, you move on, and that's okay, because the connection, that no thinking higher self, is what matters. These are just pointers to the way. They're not the way, they're just pointers to the way. So whatever serves you is what you're going to use. So yeah, we're going to do the breath and body. So during this meditation, I want you to try to not manipulate the breath at all, which is super hard for me. I always wanted like deep breath out, because for me, taking deep breaths out, in and out, it helps me to feel like I'm breathing. But just being an observer of the breath helps with non-striving. You're not trying to get something out of the breath. You're alive. You're breathing. That's the present moment. That is what is. It's a practice of being okay with what is. And so I think this is actually a pretty good practice for me, just in general. So, all right, let's get comfortable. Let's get meditating. I need this today. All right. So just get in a comfortable position, whatever that is for you, sitting in a chair or sitting crisscross applesauce, whatever it is. You could be at your desk. You could be on the side of your bed, whatever works. And I want you to just kind of relax your muscles, let them kind of go limp, and just relax the muscles. All right, now we're starting our meditation. I want you to bring your attention to your breath. And you're just watching it. Observing the quality of your breath. Is it shallow? Is it deep? Where do you feel your breath? Do you feel it in your chest? Or do you feel it in your belly? Do you feel it in your throat, your windpipes, your nose, right there at the tip of your nostrils? Where do you feel your breath? Not changing the quality of your breath at all. I want you to watch and see, observe. Is your in-breath longer than your out-breath? Or is the exhale longer than your in-breath? What's amazing about your breath is that it's always there. Even when you're not paying any attention at all, you're breathing. You're alive. You're here, right now. And if you get some thoughts that come to try to compete with the breath, you just gently bring your attention back to the breath. No judgment. No resistance to the distractions. You'll work with what you got. And bring your attention right back to the breath. All right, good people. Breath and body. It's a tough one, but a good one. I hope you enjoyed today's meditation and today's discussion on present moment and non-striving. Let's chat about it. If you have any questions, concerns, drop comments. I forgot to mention that in my previous episodes. Like, I want to engage and talk. If you have any concerns, questions, issues, let's chat about it. Keep tabs on me on Instagram at mindfulmochamama.com. Well, no, that's the website. My Instagram account is mindfulmochamama. And like, subscribe, thumbs up, share, all the above. Download this episode, and let's create some momentum around living a mindful life. Living a evolving life. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I'll see you next time. Bye.